It's just a place that we haven't been to, so we thought, why not?
It's just amazing here.
My son and I have come out here to hike up to Big Bend with a slow cooker and a battery pack in our bags to do something a bit different.
School holiday visitor numbers have more than doubled at Queensland's Carnarvon Gorge over the past 2 years.
With the lack of international travel brought about by COVID-19, we have seen the demand go through the roof.
So we didn't want to go too far away from Brisbane because the government, quite rightly so, are so instantaneous in their shutdowns that it's hard to know. So we decided not to risk it and we decided to explore Queensland instead. People are keen. I can't tell you how. I reckon we saw 100 plus caravans between Brisbane and Roma. Amazing amount of people on the road. People are getting out again. It's great. Fabulous. My brother ordered a caravan and waited 18 months to get it, so people are obviously travelling.
I reckon, this year's probably the busiest I've had it in the 3 years I've been here.
But while business is booming, operators are struggling to meet demand.
We are over 80% occupancy all the time, which is very good. It's finding actually qualified staff and staff in general because of the international border closures and backpackers not being around, and that was the biggest challenge. With severe staff shortages, that's definitely the biggest challenge at the moment. It meant 12 to 14 hour days and jumping and covering shifts wherever I could, and just cutting off services that we usually give to guests and forcing us to close the restaurant because of no kitchen staff. It was pretty bad, and trying to manage and give the best service, but it's definitely affecting the quality of the service, unfortunately.
Beyond commercial pressures, traditional custodian Milton Lawton fears the gorge is being loved to death.
I view Carnarvon as a huge cemetery, the Carnarvon Ranges, the whole sandstone belt. And for that reason, we have to carry a fairly high degree of reverence when we walk into those spaces. Visitation to the gorge in particular has been quite huge over the years. Since COVID came along, we've seen a huge increase of visitation to the place, and I've had concerns about how those spaces in that wonderful gorge are cared for and looked after. There's potential for those places to really deteriorate given the high level of traffic into those visiting those sites. My Bidjara is Bidjara, that's my language in my land, and my Yuri is Ghungalu, and I am a scrub turkey, a Ghungalu. And Carnarvon sits in my great-grandmother's country, my Buckal's country. I go there for two reasons, basically. One is to nourish my spirit in that wonderful gorge and surrounding areas, and the other one is to obtain further education, I guess, about my story, my people's story on that country. It's my cathedral, it's my university, it has been for the last 35 years. There's not a great deal of information provided to visitors there around the cultural interpretation, and that's sad because it's such a powerful place and people are drawn back to that time and time again after visiting for the first time. I've come across families that have now down to the third generation of visiting to that place, and they still don't have a true understanding of what that place means and why those places are used in the way they were for our people. So I spend my time in Carnarvon trying to address that by sharing my story. It's my story. I don't try to tell anyone else's story. It's just my story and my family's journey in that country. The last of my old people left that country in the early 80s. But it's a place for all people. Non-Indigenous too, as well as Indigenous people. And non-Indigenous people have a huge role to play in preserving our story and our culture. And it's through places like Carnarvon that they can assist us in that journey by having an understanding of what that place is all about.